Hello, everybody. It's Jeremy McVeigh at Cabrillo College, and I just wanted to do a little bit of a video on knife cuts and how to handle your knife to cut well and to cut properly. So I am on Upper Campus in the demo room right now by myself, so I don't have to wear a mask. And I've just set up a cutting board here, and I've got a chef knife, about 9-inch chef knife that I'm going to be using. And the first thing I wanted to show you was just how to hold it, how to position myself, and what to do with this other hand that potentially could be at risk if we're not careful with what we do with our offhand. So I'm going to be cutting with my right hand. Obviously, if someone was left-handed and cut with their left hand, then it would just be the exact opposite. So again, I've got a chef knife in my hand, and when we hold a chef knife, we want to hold it by the blade with our finger and our thumb, and then wrap our 3 fingers around the handle. May seem awkward to you to do that. A lot of times people instead hold it by the handle or put a finger on the back of the blade. Neither of those ways are going to allow you to control the knife as well as holding it the way that I'm holding it right now. So again, with my finger and thumb on the blade and then fingers wrapped around the handle. The other aspect of cutting is what I do, how I stand to my cutting surface. So I've got a cutting board in front of me, and the natural tendency would be for people to stand at the cutting board like I am right now. And if I was cutting something this way, then I'm going to notice the cutting board facing straight away from me. If I'm cutting like this, I'm cutting on an angle to the cutting board. And if I'm cutting on an angle like this, from my vantage point looking at my knife, I can only see the side of the knife that's on my side. I can't see the other side of the knife, which means I can't really tell whether I might be leaning the knife one way or another. Whereas if I change my body position, so I stand at an angle, and my feet are like, my left foot is pointed almost straight ahead, a little bit to the right, and then my back foot is pointing straight or parallel to this cutting board. And by standing like this, then I can hold my knife so that it is pointing straight away from me and parallel to the cutting board, and I can pull it in a little bit toward my head so that I'm looking straight down the back of the blade, and I can tell whether or not I'm leaning one way or another. So the body position part really can play a big role in how well you're able to cut. So that's one aspect of it about my angling. But another aspect is when I actually cut and I want to move the knife forward, as then I'll take advantage of how sharp it is as I'm cutting through things, not pushing it straight down. And if I'm moving forward and I'm standing like I am now, I can use my legs as some of my power, essentially, when I'm cutting through things. Whereas again, if I was standing straight up against the board like this, I can't use my legs. I just can use my arm. Right? So you're more powerful cutter if you're standing like this. So if you're standing angled, and you can use that body position to cut. So if I'm holding the knife right and my body position right, then the last part of it is the motion. And when we're cutting, there's really a few different ways of cutting, and I'll show you all those in another video. But typically, we're going to be slicing through something. We want to be moving forward as we're cutting, not pushing down, as I mentioned before. Pushing down is just forcing the blade through whatever it is you're cutting. It's going to take a lot more force, and you're typically not going to cut as evenly and straightly if you cut like that. You want to have that motion either forward. Sometimes we even pull back when we're cutting on something. So again, when it comes to good knife cuts, how you hold it, how you stand, and then the motion that you're using when you're slicing things are going to be critical to good knife skills. So more videos to come.